We know function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Like here we have regular functions. Let's create a new regular function. So we write function keyword. Then we write the name of function, then the parameters that function receives, for example, A, number type, and B, number type also, and it will return number type again. Then it will does or perform this task, A plus B. So this is our function add, and it receives two parameters, A and B, number type, and it returns number type, and it does this task. We use a regular function when we want to give the function a name, and we reuse it in different places by calling that function. But if we don't need to name the function or reuse it elsewhere, we often use an arrow function. Arrow functions are shorter and are great for writing quick and inline functions. The symbol of arrow function is this. So anywhere in code we see this symbol, that means that's arrow function. There's arrow function there. In the left side of this symbol, we have parameters that function will receive, like this part. And on the right side of this symbol, we have what the function does or returns. Let's write this function in arrow method, in arrow shape, in arrow format. So on the left side, we have parameters that function will receive. And on the right side, what the function does. So it expects bracket. So this is our arrow function. So we can also save it in new variable or new const, and we have double here, it's duplicated, so we just comment out this. So this is our arrow function. So we see this one, this symbol, so we have arrow function here. The left side is parameters that function receives, and the right side what the function does or return. We can give it a name for this function if we want, or if we don't want, depends on our need. Const add, here is the name we save. So let's try to call this function. So for example, we have another variable result, and the result is add, see, A and B. It expects variable A, parameter A, and parameter B. So for example, 3 and 5. So console.log result. So it should give us the result 8. So let's try to get this console, and let's try to this. Ten comes, it comes from here. So 8, we have 8 as result. So this is how to use arrow functions in inline format. It's short to write. It's easy to create a function, just adding the receiving the parameters and what that function will does. Here also we see this is a function. We can see it over this symbol. This is the symbol of arrow function. And one important thing to remember is arrow functions don't have their own this context like regular functions. Regular functions, they have this context. What I mean, like, for example, constructor is a function. Here we have this method, this context. Also, here we have like full info or describe job or job title setter. They have their own this keyword, but arrow functions, they don't have their own. So that's why in class methods like here get set or like describe job or any other method in class methods, we use regular functions. So don't forget, in class methods we use regular functions, not arrow functions. And arrow functions are most commonly used with array methods. Array methods. So array has many methods, and arrow functions most used with array methods. In the next lesson, we will see how to use them.